Continuing from my last video, now we'll look at option Greeks. So there's delta, which is the change in the option price relative to a change in the underlying price. Then there's gamma, which is the change in delta relative to a change in the underlying price. And then there's theta, which is the change in the option price relative to change in time. Then there's vega, which is the change in option price when there's a change in volatility. And rho would represent the change in option price over a change in the risk-free rate. So all these Greeks are measures of sensitivities. Now, of course, the formulas will look a bit complex, but I will build this into the Excel worksheet. Right, so we'll first start off by labeling the Greeks. So there's delta, gamma, then we have vega, and then theta and rho. Okay, let's highlight, align this to the center, I'll put in bold. Then I'll just draw the borders here. Then of course these are the Greeks. Okay, these are the Greeks. So I'll highlight this and I'll just put it on the align it on the center. So let's click format cell. The alignment, I'll select center across selection. So this will be in the center, right? So I'll just probably color this blue. Now for the coal delta, we'll take cell B22 multiply by cell B17. So here the coal delta is 0.29341, which means that for every $1 increase in the underlying price, the coal price will increase by 29 cents. For the coal delta, it will usually range between 0 to 1. So the nearer it is to 0, the more it is out of the money, and the nearer it is to 1, the more it is in the money. Now to do it for put option, again, we'll take B22 multiply by ND1, which is in cell B17 minus 1. So in this case, the delta of a put will be negative. Okay, and the range will be from 0 to -1, and the nearer it is to -1, the more it is in the money. Now what this means is that for every $1 increase in the underlying price, the put option will decline by 71 cents. Now for the gamma of a call and a put, they are based on the same formula, so we only have to compute it once. Now before we do that, we'll first calculate the value of the normal distributions PDF, or the probability density function. So I will just create a row here under the row 23. That's a standard normal PDF. So that will be equals to 1 over square root of 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by the exponential function, and then this will be negative 0.5, which is half, multiplied by D1, which is in cell B15, the power of 2. Okay, so we have the value here so that we can reuse for the other calculations later. Now, to get to the gamma, so the formula will be to take B22, then we'll divide by the underlying price, which is in B3, multiply by B13, then we'll multiply by the standard normal probability density function value. So that's 0.0847, and the put option will have the same gamma, so you could either just link this to H3, which is the gamma of the coal, then we're done. So to interpret the value of this gamma, it tells us that if the underlying price were to increase by $1, then the delta would increase by 0.00847 for both the call option and the put option. So if we just want to show that, so in this case, at this price point, which is 307.35, the delta is 0.29341. So if I were to increase it by $1, let's say if I change this to $308, then the delta will increase to 0.30193. And you can see that here the difference between the two will be 0.0085, which is quite close to the result that we had earlier. The vega of a call option and put option are based on the same formula. So here we'll take 1 divided by 100 multiply by the underlying price in B3, then multiply by B22, multiply by the square root of the time to expiration, which is B8, then we'll multiply by B23. So that's the vega of the call option. So for the put option, the vega will also be the same, which is 0.5592. So this tells us that for every 1% increase in the underlying volatility, the option price will increase by 0.5592 or 56 cents. The formula for theta will be more complex than the other Greeks. So we'll do this slowly. So let's start off. So we'll take 1 over the total number of days in the year. So that's based on cell B10. Then we'll multiply, then we'll open the bracket here. So for the very first term, we'll take negative of the underlying price, B3, multiplied by volatility in B5. Then we multiply by B22. And then we divide by, open the bracket, to multiply by the square root of the time to expiration in B8. And then for the whole thing, we will multiply, close the bracket here, then we'll multiply by B23. Okay, so that's the first term in the bracket. Then we'll move on to the next term. So we'll minus the risk-free rate in B6, multiply by the exercise price in B4, multiply by B21, then we multiply by B18. That's the second term. Then for the last term, so we add in the dividend yield, that's in B7, then multiply by the underlying price, B3, then multiply by B22, then lastly we multiply by ND1 in B17, then we close the bracket. So there we go, that's the theta for this call option. So what this means here is that for every passing day, okay, as a day passes by, the call option price will decay or decline by 7 cents. So usually theta is referred to as the time decay. And we will see that for both options, the theta is always negative. Right, now let's move on to calculate the theta for the put option. We'll start off with 1 over the number of days in the year, multiplied by, open the bracket, then we have negative underlying price B3 times the volatility, which is in B5, times B22. Then we'll divide by bracket, open bracket, 2 times the square root of B8, close the bracket here, and then we'll multiply by B23. So that's for the first term, and then we'll start with the second term. So we plus the risk-free rate, which is in B6, times the exercise price, times B21, times B20. So that's for the second term. Then for the last term, we'll minus, starting with the dividend yield in B7, multiplied by B3, multiplied by B22, and multiplied by B19. So close the bracket, and then we have our final figure. So the theta for this put option is negative 0.05483. So we can interpret this as every day passes by, the put option price is estimated to decline by about 5 cents every day. To calculate the rho for call option, we will take 1 divided by 100, multiply by the exercise price in B4, multiply by the time to expiration in B8, and then multiply by B21, and then multiply by B18. The rho of the call option is 0.23241. So we can interpret this as if the interest rate or the risk-free rate were to increase by 1%, the call option price is estimated to increase by 23 cents. Now let's finish up for the put options rho. So that will be negative 1 over 100 multiplied by the exercise price B4, multiplied by time to expiration B8, multiply by B21, then multiply by B20. So the rho of the put option is negative 0.6985, which denotes that if the interest rate or the risk-free rate were to increase by 1%, the put option price will decline by approximately 70 cents.